going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're going to talk about the unsolved murder case of 20-year-old Lacoria Cox. Now, Miss Cox was killed on March the 4th, 2020. So that's approximately 4 years ago on Mount Carmel Church Road here in Wayne County. The details of her death are, kind of sketchy because the shooting happened at 11:45 p.m. at night, and consequently, there was another victim who was in the vehicle in which Miss Cox drove that night, and that victim is or was 23-year-old Donnie Raekwon Henry. And fortunately, Mr. Henry survived his wounds. Evidently, he was in critical condition for a while. However, he was able to fight through the injuries. But once again, unfortunately for the Cox family, 20-year-old Lacoria Cox was not so fortunate. Now, I learned about this case. I hadn't heard about this case through the mother, Miss Letitia Cox. She reached out to me and noticed, that I've been covering some of these cases. So I got a chance to speak with her at length on a couple of occasions, and she was giving me some details about the incident. Now, according to the mother, Miss Cox, Lacoria Cox was out. She had just, her mother had just bought her a vehicle, and she was out with some friends that particular night. The mother said the last time that she talked to her was about 9 or 9:30, and she requested that she be headed home. However, it is reported by the mother, who I guess spoke with Mr. Henry at times, that Miss Lacoria went to pick Mr. Henry up from what we call here in Goldsboro the jungle, or what most people know as courtyard apartments. It was then, according to the information that I received from the mother, Mr. Henry said they stopped at Donnell's. If you don't know where Donnell's at, that means you've never been in Goldsboro. But Donnell's is a corner store on the corner of Slocum and Elm. It was then said that Mr. Henry, according to the mother, went into the store and got a Lucy. Lucy. Don't know what a Lucy is. A Lucy is a loose cigarette. Where you can buy one cigarette at a time. So he got the cigarette, I guess, and they went on to get something to eat. I think the mother said it was at Cookout on Berkeley Boulevard. And then I assumed that they were, headed to some location out in the Mount Carmel area, when, according to Henry, he said that a car, started following them and sped up behind them. And evidently at the location of Mount Carmel Church Road, that is when the shots rang out. And it was then that Miss Lacoria was struck by a bullet. If I'm not mistaken, according to medical reports, the bullet entered her back and possibly hit some vital organs. And it was then also that, once again, Mr. Donnie Raekwon Henry was also shot. And it was Mr. Henry who ended up calling 911. And they were transported to the hospital. And it was it was at the hospital that Miss Cox succumbed to her injuries, and once again, Mr. Henry was fortunate enough to recover, and many people, 2 days after the death, I think the family spoke with the news. I think that was one of the news departments, and her sister Lisa Cox said she had so much to live for. She loved her family and friends. She worked as a housekeeper at a hotel, but she also had dreams of going back to school and becoming a neonatal nurse. Her mother, Letitia Cox, said she was happy all the time, all loving and friendly. I really don't know anyone who would want to hurt her. Her aunt Aretha Sykes stated. And once again, the victims were found in the 1100 block of Mount Carmel Road. And so that is this case once again is one of so many. But after talking to Miss Cox, I just hear the pain and hurt from her not being able to get closure. She told me that it was about 2 a.m. in the morning in which the sheriff showed up at her house, and when they felt that, when she was told that it was about Lacoria, she immediately thought, well, this girl better not have gotten in no trouble, because I'm not going down to jail and bail her out. I told her to come home. But unfortunately, the news was much, much more tragic than that. And actually, the first time that, I asked her, what did the police say when she came to the door, she actually broke down in tears and had to call me back. So, once again, my heart and prayers and heartfelt condolences go out to Miss Cox, sisters, the aunts, the friends, the cousins, everyone who loved this precious jewel that was taken away from us much too soon. And then, the mother, talked to, I guess, the detectives, and I asked her when was the last time that she heard from the detectives, and she said it was about 6 months ago. That would be 3.5 years after this homicide, in which, once again, nobody has yet to be brought to justice. According to the mother, the detective said that there was an individual who was locked up for a certain crime, and he was willing to testify and tell on somebody, but evidently nothing ever came of that lead. Now, also, the mother gave information that she heard where, apparently or possibly, allegedly, reportedly, once again, I'm not saying that this is fact. This is information that, was relayed through other sources, that it is possible that Mr. Henry had been the aggressor, or had been a suspect in another violent crime that I guess went unsolved or whatever, and it was told to the mother that someone was out to get him. People were after him and may have seen him leave in the car from Courtyard or the Jungle or Day Point with Lacoria, and proceeded to follow them to their various locations until they had the opportunity to carry out the act that took Miss Lacoria's life. Now, once again, that is not fact. That is some information that was given to the mother as she was telling me, the streets talk. And of course, I know the streets talk. And she also said that she had heard certain names that were given to her, and she in turn referred those names to the authorities. And when I asked, did anything ever come about it, of course, which is the common theme around here with law enforcement is, well, they know who did it, they just don't have enough evidence. And so, um, unfortunately, we see that so often where people have information to these incidents that take people's lives, destroy communities, destroy families, destroy futures, take fathers, brothers, sisters, mothers, cousins, uncles, aunts, granddaughters, grandsons away from their family, and yet and still people have pertinent information to the cause of their death, and they refuse to operate in a state of common decency or morality to make sure that the people who are involved in these incidences be taken to justice. So as of now, once again, it's been 4 years, and still this fly is bothering me. Um, it has been 3 years since the death, 4 years, excuse me, since the death of Miss Cox. And, once again, there has been no closure for the family. And the detective's name on this case is, I think, Detective Walston, she said. And, I'm at, once again, I haven't had a chance to really dig deep on this death, but I promise that I will bring it back to light, and hopefully this video will jog somebody's memory, convict somebody's heart, prick somebody's conscience to come forth with any information that may help this mother get some closure concerning the death of her daughter. But nevertheless, hopefully this will garner some more attention to this unsolved case. But as always, my number is 919-587-7782. You can call me direct with any concerns about information of this video. But also, if you have any information concerning, something that can help the mother, sleep better at night, please feel free to call 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.